Welcome to the Pod Bay Door.
Hello out there in the verse. This is the Pod Bay Door. Please join us every Tuesday for informed discussions on new and upcoming movies, games, and tech. And if you love Las Vegas, stay tuned because as Vegas insiders, we can give you a unique perspective on its history, provide insider information, and reveal the unknown secrets of our town, Vegas. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. We're glad you're with us. And hey, if you get the chance, subscribe to us and give us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Also check in with us on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast.
It's Christmas Eve. It's the one night of the year when we all act a little nicer. We smile a little easier. We share a little more. For a couple of hours out of the whole year, we are the people that we always hoped we would be.
Hello to you. This is the podbaydoor.com. You can find us at thepodbaydoor.com or our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast. However, for John, Adam, and Sam today, we are doing it audio only in the spirit of FDR and the Fireside Chats. All of us want to wish you a happy holidays. If you are offended by the holidays or just by being happy, then I wish you a contented feast of the Immaculate Conception.
Thank you.
A good winter solstice to you, Adam. And for Sam, a joyful Canadian Boxing Day.
Sure, sounds good.
And of course, Merry Christmas, Hana Kwanzaa.
That's a good one.
But the one thing I want to wish all
Wait,
my...
don't forget though, you have to put it all in a Starbucks cup.
That's right, and a Christmas tree 4,000 calorie Starbucks cup. But I want to wish all my pod mates here something that I don't know I will ever see, or if our country will ever see. But I want to wish everybody peace. Now, we're going to talk about the destruction of Las Vegas from Hollywood to Silicon Valley, all the movies and games that, for some reason, they love to destroy our fine city. And we'll end with a timeline version of Area 52, years 1931 to 1933. Hugely important for our little town. Keep those comments and show suggestions coming in. The response to Sophia was enormous, and I can confirm she is not single.
Yeah, she's great, though.
Yeah, she is fantastic. And check back with us. We're going to work together, I think, very soon. And I'll try to include those on the blog. Speaking of the blog, John has written some fantastic articles recently, and the title of the last one was Vampire
on the Strip.
Vampire on the Strip. A fantastic review of a particular genre and film in Las Vegas, and absolutely do check that out. And my little articles as well pop up. So, but John's been doing a fantastic job.
The nightlife here is very weird.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's right.
But Jester LV fan commented, "Love the show and history lessons, guys." Well, thank you. We're not trying to teach everybody. We just let you know all the fun historical aspects of Las Vegas. It's not just gambling, and it's not just rolling the bones.
People live here.
That's right. What are the holidays like here? Oh, my gosh.
It's a good question.
It's a very good question. And a lot of people, I've never seen or heard anyone talk about the holidays.
Well, it's kind of weird. In the desert, we don't have any snow, so it's not the typical holiday, season. So.
We do get the cold.
Well, it's very chaotic for sure.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, for those of us that worked in the casinos,
it can be very busy.
It can be busy with the non-Christian clientele.
Yeah, we used to get a lot of foreign guests, if I remember from that. And the other problem is, although there's a lot of people, a lot of the shows take the breaks, right?
Yeah,
they go dark.
They go dark. Very few shows come in. We have some holiday themed, Christmas themed, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, the Chinese clientele, Middle Eastern clientele, and they don't. They love to eat. Restaurants kill it during Christmas, especially for families that don't want to, cook the
Well, with the Strip,
turkey.
the restaurants are always going to be busy, but also a lot of the properties are doing the artificial ice rink now. So everybody's going to either ice skate or take pictures inside the casinos. So
well, with all the shows going on break, you got to have something for these people to do.
Yeah,
so.
There's definitely more foot traffic for sure. Like to go in and out of casinos or to find parking, it's gonna be even more difficult because all the foot traffic coming in and out.
Yeah, there are two, I think, well, possibly three. I'd have to check this out, but there are two ice rinks now. There's one at in front of T-Mobile, which is kind of sad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little tiny.
Sure.
And then there's one in front, or one involved with the Cosmopolitan property, which is quite nice. It's a converted pool area, I believe.
Sure.
But yeah, I've never done the ice skating thing.
No, they didn't have that when we worked there.
No, definitely not.
And I remember I had to work Christmas Day.
Yeah.
One year, you know, I was off Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Right.
So if it fell on Wednesday and Thursday, great. I was lucky I got Thanksgiving off.
Right.
You know, because of that. But Christmas morning, I remember we were busy.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people there asking, you know, what can we do? Yeah. It's Christmas, just like anywhere else. The malls are going to be closed.
Right.
A lot of places are going to be closed.
So, well, I know I went out to Lake Las Vegas one year, and they had the ice skating rink out there, and they put on a nice little Christmas display because they got a little like outside shopping and stuff set up out there. So it was kind of nice out there.
Boy, Lake Las Vegas.
You guys go to the Speedway for the lights?
The where, Sam? The
Speedway.
The Motor Speedway. Yes, I've seen that. Yes.
I know Sunset Park has a really nice
FLM's also,
lighting.
right?
FLM Chocolate Factory, and their botanical garden. They do a fantastic job. Have you been to the Speedway, Sam? Have you been?
Yes. It's actually really nice. I like it. I like the lights. It's not too bad.
Do they continue?
Is it like a drive-through like Sunset Parks? Where you kind of just drive through the...
Yeah, it's a drive-through.
But
you
really
pay
fast.
A fee
yeah, right?
to get through.
Just make a lot of laughs.
Yep, left turns only. You can make a bunch of Ricky Bobby jokes.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny. Now, Adam was saying, the weather here is in Las Vegas. People don't realize that it's extremely hot or extremely cold,
right?
Depending on where you're from. Being the Sonoran Desert, we experience. I don't have a pool currently, but my pools in the past have frozen over. Not thick. You can't skate on them, but I mean they freeze over. And people, John and I would deal with them all the time. They come to Vegas in.
They're just not prepared.
They're not
for
prepared.
It.
They're freezing or burning up, and keeling over.
They have
it's
t-shirts
not Minnesota.
or parkas.
No.
Yeah, but still, for us, I mean, the temperatures will drop in the 30s and 40s at night, and they'll be 65 up to 70 maybe.
Yes.
Daytime, and a couple of years ago, I had to go to Albany, New York, on business right after the first of the year. It was like January 5th.
Right.
And I left here, Las Vegas, it was 62 degrees, and I got to Albany and it was 6.
Oh, boy.
So, I mean, comparatively speaking, it's not that cold.
No.
But for us, it's cold. We're at 2,000 feet. And,
we get a lot of wind off the mountains.
We get a lot of wind.
Wind chill's pretty bad.
And we will get snow in, Mount Charleston's supposed to get
we
some
get a
snow.
little snow in the valley.
Yeah, I'd say probably once every 5 years we seem to get
a
a little thing that stays on the ground for a minute.
Yeah.
But
that's all you get.
I can't say it's a white Christmas, but it's a nice place to have Christmas.
Yeah.
It's but like Sam said, unfortunately, it just never stops. So we are Sin City. They just keeps going.
Yeah.
And luckily, during the Christmas time, we will have already ushered out NFR, which is thankfully
they're here in town still.
I am done working. Thank God.
The rodeo.
Yes. They're great folks, but they do muck up the machine. I'm telling you.
A lot of big trailers in town.
Exactly. But it's a great place to have the holidays. It's a unique place to come for the holidays. I know a lot of people come here for family reunions and different Christmas holidays. A lot of people are tired of this
and their comps too. And their comps, because usually a lot of the hotels during the holidays will get their high rollers try to come out here and spend the holidays out here.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. But so it's a good way to people watch for sure, definitely.
Oh yeah, it's
that's 24/7.
24/7.
Yeah, it's like Walmart here every day.
Yeah, and they also. Geez. And one show that people don't know about, which I don't know if you classify it as a show, but during Christmas is one of twice a year where they clean the Bellagio fountains.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you
is
think
that
it would
right?
be?
They drain the gray water.
They drain the gray water. They scrub it down, get all the algae off, and get it ready for the next season. So that's I don't know.
When you were at the Venetian, I remember one of my tasks the last year I was there. They decided to put a menorah behind the concierge desk, and it was my job to light it because I was the guy who was on duty there when sundown came. Of course, you never know when sundown is when you're inside the hotel, right?
Nope.
You have to keep
no windows, no clocks.
So I said, okay, what do you want me to? What am I supposed to do? And they said, okay, well, you're supposed to. Normally you light the menorah 1 candle a day for every day of the Hanukkah, okay? Well, it's not a real candle one. We can't have candles in the hotel. So it's just light bulbs. So you screw in the light bulb. All right. And so sundown comes, this is easy enough. So I screw in the light bulb first day, everything's cool.
Right.
The next day, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Somebody comes by the desk and goes, hey, the menorah is not lit. I said, well, yeah, I do it at sundown. He goes, yeah, but you should have one light on, and then you add the second one. I said, oh, okay, well, I didn't know that. So I screw in one of the light bulbs, so I have one lit, and the guy walks by, and he looks, he goes, how come the menorah's on?
Oh, God.
And I said, well, I was just told that, no, you light 2 the next, oh, Jesus Christ.
Now you're
So I go in the back, we had a colleague who was Jewish,
Right.
Brenda, and I asked Brenda, what do I do? She said, well, it might be different because it's electric instead of lit. So what do you do? You call the rabbi. And they call the rabbi, and he's... Just have it lit. Every day, just go in there, screw in one bulb, and add another one to it. Okay, good, I'll do that. So I got there, and then I became defensive about it. People, hey, your menorah, don't fucking talk to me about the menorah. God damn it. The rabbi told me I can have it lit the way it is right now. Anybody want to fight over my menorah? So I wondered when I left who got that task of lighting the menorah.
I don't know. I've not had occasion to pass by our old haunts during the holidays, but I do remember that. Lots of math involved in the Jewish faith, apparently.
That's right.
You got the job of the poor Hanukkah lighter this year.
Yeah.
You got to deal with the people.
But again, thanks for all the comments. We do appreciate that. Send them any place. Our blog, YouTube, and the podbaydoor.com. We love them all. We'll try to address as many as we can. Now, next, Adam is going to start with the Nerd Alert.
Some hot topics here.
Yeah, hot ones. I had notes.
Considering...
Are they officially hot topics?
Oh, they're kind of lukewarm. They're officially. Sam.
They're controversial, Sam.
So we love all of our listeners here on Pod Bay Door, and we don't know how much longer we'll be able to get connected with you guys because net neutrality is now not a thing. It's been voted down by the FCC
3-2.
3-2, which is my biggest thing. Why are we making these huge decisions about the internet? By a 1 vote margin between 5 people.
I really had hope for a second because they actually. Alabama, for once, voted for an actual human being, not a dirtbag.
That's true. It's going to be a slow process, Sam, crawling our way back out of this giant hole that we've made.
Yeah.
Well, what can have both? What can have decency and internet? What can they go together?
Well, it's one battle at a time, sir.
Yeah, of course, the disturbing thing, Sam, was still how many people did vote for that dirtbag.
This is true.
Oh yeah,
he still got.
It was 51-49.
Now, old Doug, his camp loves to say it was a landslide. It wasn't. It wasn't a landslide.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. He barely won it by the skin of his teeth.
But it's good. It's good that he won. But we need to move on.
Back to your net neutrality, Adam. Yeah. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, it is a nightmare, and so is the guy that the head of the FCC. He put out this ridiculous video about things we can still do on the internet even if we pass this bill.
What I don't understand, his name is Ajit Pai.
Yes.
What I don't understand is why, like you said, why 5 voting people made this decision. We're allowed to make this decision. But why is Ajit Pai a celebrity? He and his giant Reese's coffee cup. I don't understand why. The FCC chairman should be a lot like the Ernst & Young guys in the Academy Awards. They should come out and say nothing and hold the things and then go back behind the curtain. I just don't understand.
I feel like it's just a distraction.
Part of the social media craze. We'll just throw this guy's face in front of the camera. Everybody will hate him and want to punch him in the face, and it's just distractions. It's the rope-a-dope technique. We'll get you over here.
Well, his basket is filled by one giant egg, and that is the egg of transparency. He says that this is going to make the large broadband companies tell the FCC, who will in turn tell its clients, its customers, us, what they're doing. But see, that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is the tiered effect this is going to have.
Yeah. This is going to be a pay scale.
Yeah, as a podcast, we're going to have to pay more at some point
to get our name out. To put our website to get people to connect to our website. It may cost them money.
Yeah.
Whereas, so retarded.
Yahoo or Google, they're going to have an easier way to get in front of people, whereas we may not. You know, so
we're just gonna have to go old school, dude. Just get a bunch of hand crank radios.
That's
some
exactly.
CVs.
Exactly. Well, see, the thing is that our only hope as consumers is if larger companies that are not broadband providers, like Apple, for example, in 2012, AT&T blocked FaceTime, and oh my God. That was they lit a fuse and Apple lost their minds, and of course that's a huge thing now for everybody. I can't stand FaceTime, but either way.
Sure.
So now AT&T and Comcast, what they're planning on doing, although they say not this year, well of course not this year, and they say it's going to be at least 2019 before anything is done. I don't believe that either. AT&T and Comcast are going to make a tiered system for the next level of broadband users, which is the larger companies. And they're going to charge them for faster service or slower service or this or this.
Yeah,
or this
throttling could be a big issue.
Oh, yeah. And it's going to be, and it's a trickle down, shit falls downhill, and it's going to be us paying extra.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm hoping this is going to be maybe set some precedent and go the opposite direction after, they figured out this is a terrible way to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can, somehow come to a better consensus on what will actually work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only thing that's possible is that, again, AT&T is such a giant player in this, is that, for example, they own DirecTV, and then therefore they own its app, they own its streaming, they own everything else. And if you're a part of the AT&T broadband service, you then receive that for free. They call it zero rating. They also do that for Netflix. So the only way this would work is if they package themselves, if they bundle themselves, taking out the tiered effect and then passing that savings on to customers.
Well, then what if we end up with, we have Coke and Google, and they're together, and then we have, Pepsi and Yahoo, and they're together now,
Right.
and then, how far does it go?
Well, the thing is, right now there's really no more than 4, possibly 5, if they count a smaller one, broadband providers.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I do have AT&T and DirecTV, right? So if I do stream my DirecTV off my phone, it counts 0 against me, like Jamey said, because I do have both subscriptions.
Okay, mine's
Right.
kind of similar. I have the NFL channel or package app, whatever,
Exactly.
on my Verizon phone.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, I think what's happened is that I don't know. I think net neutrality, the whole issue would have come up anyway because Mr. Pi likes to be on stage. I think everyone has been caught off guard by how
fast it
quickly
kind of went through.
Yeah, quickly individual streaming went. I mean, CBS was way ahead of the curve. They started charging for their app immediately, and people are following suit. BBC is establishing their own entirely separate streaming system, and I know that's huge.
DC too next year.
Yeah,
DC.
exactly.
Yeah, their own. Everything's going their own subscription channel, including Yahoo and Google now.
Yeah. And like Adam said, it's going to be Coke and Google and Yahoo and this and all these people.
Where does Pod Bay Door fit in?
But exactly. Well, the
Pod Bay
thing.
Door and Starbucks for life.
Starbucks.
Yeah, we're so
Call us,
far
man.
down. We're so far down the hill that we're going to see are fees. We're not going to be in the battle.
Yeah.
Because we're represented by whomever. We would go up to Podbean. Podbean then would somewhere hit AT&T, and that's it. But I know you have a Comcast account, John. You have a Comcast.
Yeah, but that goes back to California.
Yeah.
I somehow got grandfathered in. I don't have. I don't pay for anything through Comcast because they bought out who I did have. It was AT&T originally, and then Comcast bought them, and then AT&T got it back somehow. But I got lifetime email. So I still use that for kind of like stuff that's not very important.
Mm-hmm.
Sign up for a newsletter or something like that, or use that
Trash email.
Comcast. Yeah.
Well, I think I can't remember which provider. Maybe you guys know. I saw a printed ad. I think it was T-Mobile, and they said sign up for transfer your thing over to your cell phone over to T-Mobile, and you'll get HBO for life.
Oh gosh.
Well, that was prior to the net neutrality thing. So I mean,
where's that agreement now?
Yeah, that life apparently meant February.
Yeah.
The life of this deal.
The life of the contract.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to go the way like if you think about radio back in the old days, there was AM radio. That was the commercial radio, and then you had FM. It started out kind of as the alternative.
Right.
It didn't take a lot of equipment at that time. You could broadcast. They didn't have the restrictions that a lot of the AM did. That's why they played longer songs. They played album cuts that you couldn't get off of the cheesy AM radio with pop music. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's something dark like that will rise up from the ashes.
Right. Maybe this will be the dawn of a new generation or technology that, I
mean, older people like me, I could always go back and just say, "The hell with yous all," and
play my DVDs.
And go and go offline.
Sure.
Or hear me out. Me and Adam can actually go outdoors.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Maybe hang out in the sunlight.
I don't
know what that means.
And get that egg-shaped ball thing and maybe throw that to each other. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
What is that?
You mean interact with other humans? What?
Like that. Which I kind of did with a group of us that went to see the new Star Wars movie Thursday night.
Is this transition? Is this
where did you see it?
It's a good transition.
I like it.
We went to Santa Fe Station, which is way up north. A group of friends of mine. Sam was not included, unfortunately, so I will talk on it briefly and try not to spoil it.
Thank you, sir.
Of course. I was a big fan of The Force Awakens and some of the things that they did story-wise and what J.J. Abrams kind of set up for this next movie. And to say that I was a little underwhelmed and disappointed for this one is to say the least.
What made you get there? That's what I want to know.
It was a lot of questionable decisions with characters.
Okay.
He kind of, like all those things that I felt that JJ was setting up with the first movie, were kind of written out of the second one. Mm-hmm. And in some ways it was kind of like Thor in it was just forced humor in some ways.
Right.
Okay.
A lot of kind of fourth wall breaking that was like unnecessary.
Sure.
I gave it a 7 out of 10. It was good. But
so there's room for improvement, though.
Yeah, definitely room for improvement, and maybe the hype was too much for me.
Well, now that's a good point, and I'll ask you and Sam this. I know John and I probably are on the same page regarding this, but unfortunately, with social networking, with all the streaming, with it's just a far too much contact that we have with each other. Honestly, I'm glad it's out because now I can stop hearing about it mostly.
Just getting
and
crammed
then
down your face.
wait for the Blu-ray so I can enjoy the film myself.
Sure.
Do you guys think that there's just, now you, again, representing a generation below John and I. Actually, I represent a generation below John because he's so terribly old.
Yeah.
But are you guys tired of knowing so much about the film before it even comes out?
I am tired of getting the movie ruined by the trailers.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where they just put all the good stuff in the trailers and you get to the movie and you're like, wow, I already saw it, basically.
What about all of the discussion on every level, every tier, every network? Are you tired of that? Are you tired of the proposals of this and guessing of this and it just seems like the movie's already out and it's not even out yet
and it's been picked apart and theorized and I don't know, they put out the 30-second trailer and then everybody on the internet picks it apart one scene at a time and then
one frame at a time.
One frame at a time.
But don't they have anything better to do? I just wonder, wait till the movie come out and then
because I feel like the Avengers trailer, normally I would have to watch it a few times to catch those little hints and now I do for the podcast, I'll go and read those breakdowns.
Sure.
And now, some of that's already been ruined, but,
Yeah.
I guess it's a double-edged sword.
Good example item, like you said, is the Avengers trailer, or the new one that we just saw recently.
Yeah.
Like with those trailers, I don't even have to do the work anymore. I can go to IGN, and they'll break down the trailers for you with all the Easter eggs ready to go. And to answer your question, Jamie, from time to time, I do get fatigued from all the advertisement, all the hype sometimes for certain movies. But then again, like for this movie to come out and then to get the feedback on the rating, I'm kind of a little bit lost trying to figure out what happened with the storyline itself,
Sure, because Sam hasn't seen it, and if you have looked online, Rotten Tomatoes, I think it has it at like 93%. But then if you look at like Cinema Score or any of those type of things, it's like 50 to 60% audience score wise. So it's a lot of You know, flip side to
I
this
smell
one.
a little under the table cash there.
The whole problem with Rotten Tomatoes and other sites like that, even with Amazon, when you look at reviews, very often it's clear that people will vote even though they haven't seen it. But, everybody wants my opinion. I've read about it. It sounds like
the
it's
thing with Rotten Tomatoes is it's like kind of black and white. Is it good or is it bad?
Yeah.
So that's what the 93% say it's good.
Yeah.
Whereas the audience score, it's a rating like a 1 through 10.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where you get the people that are, in the middle.
And they've seen it. At least they've seen the
absolutely,
movie.
Yeah.
Well, and
they
Rotten
have something they can, compare and
Yeah.
contrast. And
See, Rotten Tomatoes, though, being good and bad, black and white, pass fail.
Right.
I mean, that's a rough, way of judgment because the episodes 4, 5, and 6, were they good or bad? Well, they were not great, but they were still Star Wars, which makes them pretty good.
all right, don't be confused here. So 4, 5, and 6.
I mean, 1, 2, and 3. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, the new ones. George Lucas got bored and made 3 more.
There you go.
The one with Jar Jar.
Yeah, Jar Jar.
Jar Jar. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. CGI cash grab.
Right, Jar Jar with the New York Knicks, right? No, it's not fair. I would rather see a level like a 1 through 5 and explain why that. But I don't know. I'm fatigued with reviews. I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait for the Blu-ray. Hopefully it'll come out. Somewhere between now and the mid 2018. But now I have a question. Since you're the only person who's seen it.
Yep.
Did they bid farewell to Carrie Fisher and Leia, or is she continuing into? Or is it something you don't want to talk about?
I will say they did.
Did they do her
at
justice?
the end of the movie? In loving memory of Carrie Fisher.
Okay.
Obviously, one of the points of mine that are negative deal with her character, so I won't dive into that too much.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Adam.
There you go. I will say they did Mark Hamill did really good service.
Right.
He was great in his interactions with Carrie Fisher. It totally reminded me of the originals. That was great chemistry. That was one of the good things they did in this movie.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very polarizing for me. I'm still on the fence about this one.
All right.
Gotcha.
All right.
What about if you watch it again? Would that help?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I want to see it again for sure. But my initial reaction coming out of the movie was of a little bit of disappointment.
Really?
Yeah.
You're telling me something about like Spaceballs?
Yeah, I looked at your brother. I went with Sam's brother Jamey and his buddy, and I looked at him at one point in the movie, and I was like, "What are we watching Spaceballs right now?" Because it just had this corny, 80s comedy thing going on there.
Really?
I was like, "Wow,
wow."
This was weird.
I don't know. Is Han Solo still dead?
Han Solo is dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any retro scenes with Big Han?
No, he's completely out of this one.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So does it feel kind of almost formulated again now? Like that Disney
No,
formula
not
now?
at all. If you thought that the first one was kind of a remake of A New Hope, this one is nothing near any other movie. So no pressure there.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, it sounds, like I said, I'm looking forward. Do you look forward to the Star Wars films, John?
No, I've not seen any of them.
You've not seen any?
No, I think the only person alive.
Possibly.
In 1977, when the first one came out, I was a
Yes.
senior in high school.
Yes.
And some friends said, hey, we're going to go down to the theater and see this movie. Now, this was before they had multiplex. And they were just starting to go over from having like one movie theater with one movie. And they split some of the bigger ones into 2.
Right.
So you still had these massive lines for popular movies. So we got there, and oh, Jesus Christ, it was crowded, and you of course, you couldn't buy tickets in advance or anything like that. You just wait in line. You probably have to wait through 2 showings. I said, hell with it. We'll come back some other time.
Yeah.
Well, I never did. That was, I never did. And then,
And then you had no reason to see the second one.
I didn't have any
Because he
Second one,
discovered
then
Trail
the first
Mix.
one. Right.
Discovered
Yes.
Trail Mix, that's why.
So, and I had Trail Mix. I went to go see Jaws, and I did wait in line for Jaws.
Right.
Yeah, but then, and they didn't have, even VHS back then, so it wasn't like I
you're
had
not
to
going
wait
to go
for it
pick
to
it
come.
up. Or
And they didn't. Yeah, so I just never saw the first one or the second one. I think I checked one of them out from the library when Gio was small, and I started to watch it, and I just said, no, I don't see where this is going. Maybe I need to see the first 2.
Right. Can't just jump in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, now that Disney owns Fox, most of Fox.
There's only like 10 of them you got to catch up on now.
That's right.
That's it.
Well, now that Disney owns most of Fox, maybe we'll start seeing, Bill O'Reilly in Star Wars.
Definitely, Disney is going to own most of Fox, except for the news and the sports, but they did just buy out their movie production area for something along the lines of $60 billion.
I hope they fall on their ass. I really do.
So now they own The Simpsons, which
Well,
is weird.
the problem is Disney's going to own everything, so it's going to be impossible for them to fall on their ass.
Because this happened in Japan with Sony. Sony had, they had, everybody knew their electronics, but they started buying up, lots of other things. And a lot of them, when you got too big and they had too many fingers in too many different pots, they started to fail.
Yeah, they start to fall apart.
Well, it's Walmart, Disney, Comcast, or AT&T, and that's pretty much it.
Biggest companies.
Yeah. Well, if you go back to, I was thinking about a Kurt Vonnegut novel written back in the 80s, Jailbird. And Vonnegut kind of made the point that, half the world was owned by a cat food company. And that's what it's becoming. He foresaw that back then, that the conglomerate, everything was a conglomeration of the Ramjack Corporation.
Yes.
Everything belonged somehow, was
under the
affiliated.
umbrella of the cat food company.
Yes, of a cat food company.
And if you guys remember, one of the funnier things is Demolition Man.
Yeah.
All restaurants were Taco Bell.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, that's hilarious.
That's what's going to happen.
Burger.
All
Exactly.
TV shows will be Disney. All movies will be Disney based.
That's right. That's
So
right.
so Deadpool's gonna come over to the mouse.
That's right.
He's not gonna be able to cuss anymore.
Right. Now, I heard an interesting, somebody posited, and I saw an interview with Mr. Hugh Jackman, that he would consider reprising his role as Wolverine now that Fox is part of Disney and be entered into an Avengers storyline.
That'd be sweet. He'd be a perfect old man
Jackman
Logan.
always wanted to play in the MCU, the actual universe. So he's interested in the idea of possibly hopping in.
Yeah, I would be too. He'd be a perfect old man Logan. They bring him in from another dimension like they did in the comic books.
Well, he just got a Golden Globe nod for the
showman, greatest showman.
Greatest Showman, yeah.
Oh, for he's playing Barnum.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
Yeah.
But
Disney will own the world.
Yeah, they own the world. Well, they kind of already do, don't they?
Almost.
I mean, come on.
They have the
Star Wars,
the top 5
Marvel.
grossing movies of the year.
Yeah.
So, and they'll only continue to do that now that they own Fox. Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, they're going to have all those characters.
I'm thrilled to see it. That's right. Yeah,
they are Galactus.
They are Galactus.
They're going to be eating up the competition.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Adam. That was great. I don't know what to think about all that stuff. It's beyond our pay grade here at the old Pod Bay door, but it affects us directly. So
that's right.
I don't know. I'm definitely not going to go see Star Wars though. I just can't. Was it crowded?
It was sold out.
It was sold out.
Yeah. And it was 11 o'clock showtime that I went to on Thursday.
Day one?
I saw in the news a lot of long lines. I thought, what are they doing? Releasing a new.
It wasn't too bad where I went because it was assigned seating.
Yeah. Oh, it was assigned seating. Yeah, sorry. But
Adam, how did it work out when they emailed you the tickets? Do you just show it to the guy? Did they scan it? How did it work?
Yeah, Sam bought my ticket on Fandango or whatever, and
Fandango.
He just emailed me and it had a little barcode. Walked to the ticket taker, scanned it right there at the door. So it was piece of cake.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I've done the assigned seat thing. It's strange. It was a weird process, but
on
you knew where you were sitting.
Side note, my a couple of friends of mine now have the movie pass.
Yes.
It's actually gone down in price now. It's like $8.99 a month.
Wow, that's great.
And they're loving it. Every day you get a free movie. Yeah. Can't wait.
You still earn your points too.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Well, no, I can beat it.
Yeah, look into it.
Home
system.
Home system. But speaking of Hollywood loves to. They love to just destroy our town, John.
I know.
They blow it up. They flood it. They quake it. They demo. They shoot it.
They can to it.
That's right. They film
but they never do it when they have all the guests there.
No, they don't. I know one of the issues that they dealt with. I don't know why they dealt with it, but like for the Superman versus Batman or Superman or Marvel, they destroy the city, and now they write it into the storyline how they should be bothered by the fact they destroyed the city, but they never talk about destroying Las Vegas ever.
Maybe they don't think anybody actually lives here.
See, there you go. Nobody actually
just shells.
Just the casinos.
Yes, right.
But they do love to destroy our buildings. We have just iconic buildings.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. I mean, if you're going to blow something up, you got to blow up something pretty big.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get to you can blow up the St. Louis Arch, but then what else is there to blow up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where else do you have the Eiffel Tower, the pyramid, the Sphinx, like all in one little row, so that you can just say where you're at, right? So
I don't think
exactly. That's what they did with Armageddon. with Armageddon. Remember, they blew up the pyramid. A meteor shot through it or whatever.
Right. And I think we're either tied with or second or first in front of New York. They love to. They love to bring.
Blown up.
Oh yeah, the Chrysler Building eats it every time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I put apocalypse images Vegas into Google while I still could.
Okay.
It was
99 cents.
It was an interesting bunch of images that popped up, and it was most of the images. I would say the first 40 had to do with artist renditions of driving into town, and our poor "Welcome to Vegas" sign flopped over in the dust.
Okay, some sort of post-apocalyptic scene. Right?
Yeah, and they always forget Mandalay Bay, and there's Bellagio.
They go straight to the good ones,
right to Bellagio, and it's always right there. And I'm like, well, no, it's the sign's right next to Mandalay Bay, clearly. But you're right, John. I never see all these movies. With the exception of, we're gonna bring up the top 10 films, at least in my opinion, that destroyed our town. One of which is Con Air.
They just landed right on the strip there.
That's right.
Yep.
And the I don't remember the actor's name, but the actor's name in the film, the one who was flying the plane, was Swamp Thing, and he said, "No, I wouldn't call it quite land. It's going to be crash," and he crashed into the Riviera. And that was the only time I ever saw after they crashed people run out of the Riviera. People ran out, and you actually saw. But you're right. There's nobody ever there.
Yeah, just the buildings,
Yeah.
and that's part
Christmas,
of it. Is there has to be a familiarity to hit people on an emotional level. So if it's just some big building, they don't recognize it.
Yeah,
they're not
but
going
as
to
soon
feel
as people bleeding and crying and screaming out of the building, then you're like taken out of it.
Yeah,
it's not entertainment anymore.
So if they can see,
something else.
I know that building. That's a Bellagio hotel, or that's the Pyramid. Same thing, San Francisco, they're always going to have the Golden Gate Bridge. If somehow they destroy San Francisco, the bridge is going down.
Okay.
In the original, in The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock's movie is one of my favorites. Originally, they had storyboarded the ending. Because, if you've seen it, in the end of the movie, they drive away from Bodega Bay. You see them going down the road, and there's birds there. And it's always a thought of, the birds just attacked the one town. But in Hitchcock's original storyboard for the ending, when they drive south to San Francisco, which is like 50 miles, they see the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's covered in birds. So it was just
they know it's not just limited.
And the studios thought that was just too depressing.
Right.
But again, he's going to take something that's familiar, the Golden Gate Bridge, and stock it full of that. So a lot of people know Las Vegas.
Yeah, a lot of people, actually, a couple of things in the list had to do with the Hoover Dam.
Yes.
So not just the casinos, but the dam.
That's true.
Yeah, very iconic.
Yeah, and there's a couple of films in here that refer to it as the Boulder Dam, which is the original name.
Yes.
Yeah. But here, we're going to run through real quick some films that spectacularly destroyed our town, Las Vegas. San Andreas, the new one, The Rock,
The Fault Line,
Mr. Jumanji himself.
Mr. Jumanji.
That's right. San Andreas, they did an okay job.
I liked the movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty decent.
Lots of water.
Yeah.
Lots of water.
Yeah. The Hoover Dam was one of the
exactly.
destructibles in that one.
Exactly. So. And I like the actress Carla Gugino. She can come visit anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her. But they did a pretty good. That was the one of the few that dealt with water. I don't know that the water of the Hoover Dam would come to us.
Probably not. You think it would keep flowing down the river, right, toward the south?
Yeah, Lake Mead would fill up again. Yay.
Yeah.
But Godzilla.
Oh, remember that?
Godzilla.
That's right. Had something to do with Area 52, right?
Yes, Area 52. Now, I embarrassingly, I have to say, is that the Godzilla that they're referring to? Is that the one with Broderick?
No. This is the newer one.
The newer one
with
the
Cranston.
Cranston, yeah.
Okay.
They had the second kind of winged beast there was underneath the Hoover Dam. I believe that one too.
Right. And I miss the two little girls in Godzilla. Do you guys remember that?
In the
original
one?
Mothra.
Yeah, Mothra.
They
called Mothra out.
The two girls for Mothra.
Oh, I miss those two little girls.
Yeah, I don't know.
Two little tiny girls.
Yeah, they were cute.
They were the Powerpuff Girls. They had to.
No.
These girls
They're
they
like
had the
baby
ability
metal.
to summon Mothra.
Yeah, they had
with
to
our powers combined.
Yeah, and Mothra came out with the laser beam out of his face somehow.
Something like
and the next one, 2012.
Yep.
I did not enjoy that film. I didn't enjoy the hype about the film. I thought the film was silly, quite honestly.
Just another end of the world destruction movie.
And that was a quick flash, I think. They sort of insulted us. They didn't give us any film time. It was just like...
Just here's the strip, down the hole.
Well, yeah, they used to come out with those every year. Geostorm, well, not the one this year. I remember going to the theater with
same director, I believe, of all those movies.
Yeah, and he looked at it and goes, this looks like it's going to suck. All they have is special effects. And I thought, that's what people like to go see. They like to see stuff get blown up.
That's right. Roland Emmerich.
Is it? Okay.
I believe so.
2012, San Andreas, I think, almost all those.
Independence Day. That was a horrible
Roland
movie.
Emmerich.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that was Roland Emmerich.
It was just like, wow, we have all these great special effects, and who needs characters to drive the story?
Come on. Goldblum. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Must go faster.
Goldblum, a spaceship, and a dinosaur. That's all you need.
Sounds like a hit.
Resident Evil Extinction.
That's right.
Specifically that one. Now, I thought they had been before, but I looked them up, and
I don't think so. I think it's the only one they kind of walked through Vegas, and it was all just desert. The casinos have basically been, swept away by the desert, and they just kind of walked through. I think they walked through the Luxor, very iconic, the
they
pyramid.
did walk through that.
Well, they went through the Luxor, and then one of the snipers went up the Eiffel Tower.
There you go.
Oh, my gosh, you're right.
Snipe from there.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Well, and the next one, Adam's favorite, the one that makes the most impression upon him on any film, apparently.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sam? Transformers. Michael Bay. Michael Bay. He destroys.
They also destroy the Hoover Dam.
Yes, he loves to blow stuff
but
up.
But don't forget, before they destroyed the Hoover Dam, they did a nice car commercial.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that was still when Fox was in it. When Megan.
Right?
I
think it was the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. She that makes me laugh every time I think of her. Domino, a film I actually really loved. I totally forgot that it was Domino with.
That's my girl, Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. She plays like a hitman. That's 2005.
2005.
Yeah, they ended up in a shootout on one of the casinos.
Yes.
So
Yeah. And someone tried to include. A friend of mine tried to include reindeer games. That was not Las Vegas.
Reindeer. Okay, I was gonna say. I don't know if that was.
Yeah,
it was a good movie though. I guess
that was not. That was.
Could we technically include Smoking Aces?
Smoking Aces? That was a casino. It was a fake one though.
Yeah,
but it took place in Laughlin.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Close enough.
Poor old Laughlin.
It's like Vegas' second cousin.
Hey, Laughlin's loved too.
Yeah, and then there's 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Yeah.
Although that was that was fake too. That was pretty bad. Con Air, of course, made our list a little bit earlier. I think Con Air to me is the film that absolutely screws around with the property map of the town the worst. It was just awful.
Oh, that's
As
true.
The plane
you go
is
from like
skidding down
one
Las
end
Vegas
of the strip
Boulevard
to the other, and then jump from casino to casino.
Not even close.
Actually, no. That I'll counter you with Jason Bourne, because me and Adam watched that, and he went from the Tropicana to the Riviera in a second. Or like, how the hell did that happen?
Now, Jason Bourne, our friend of the show, Danette, with the Nevada Film Office, she was right there for that scene. She was actually on the street for that scene. But I don't know. She saw how they filmed it, but how they cut it together. That obviously that's later on in the process. And then one John mentioned. Mars Attacks.
One
of the funnier films on the list.
Funny.
Yes.
To me, it's a classic.
It is a classic. I loved it. Great cast.
Lots of showgirls. Nudity explosions. That's all we need here. But like Adam said, I don't think it was a big hit. I don't think it was a hit. I think it's more of a cult classic hit now. But definitely a lot of cameos in that movie. Yeah. A lot of faces.
Jack Black being one of them.
Jack Black, when he was a baby. He was like 12.
This was back in the day.
Yeah, way back in the day.
1996.
It was 96.
There you go.
And then the next one, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. That one got me. I had to actually look the film up and look the scene up.
Was that Rick Moranis?
Rick Moranis, yeah. He had a shrinking ray and make a big ray, and he turned his kid into a big Godzilla.
Tromp down the frontier with the big cowboy.
That's right. That's right. And then John's favorite, I put this on here for him because he was alive back then. No, The Amazing Colossal Man.
Yes, loved it. If you ever get a chance to see it, you got to see it.
What did we say? 1957.
Yeah. So I was a kid, 5, 6 years old to be on TV.
Yeah.
And every opportunity I had to see the Amazing Colossal Man
the guilty
or
pleasure
the
of the
Incredible
day.
Shrinking Man, I took it.
Now, the amazing. We were talking about this in the pre-show. The Amazing Colossal Man destroyed what portion of our town? What do you remember? What he destroyed?
No, of course. When I saw it as a kid, of course, we're going back to the '60s.
Yes.
I just remember him hulking over these big buildings because he just kept growing and growing.
Uh-huh.
And, he had been exposed to nuclear fallout from a bomb blast there in the desert.
Yes.
And they were trying to find out what they could do to help him. And he just kept getting bigger and bigger. And,
The Nevada test sites out there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Was this before or after the Incredible Hulk?
This would have been way before.
The same premise, because
Yes.
All right, guys. Now I have a quiz for you, Sam. You're included in this. How many officially recognized? Now I know this is arguable, but how many officially recognized films have been filmed in Las Vegas and used it as a theme of Las Vegas? How many films?
Oh man!
Between
and use it as an actual theme, so it's not just like a cameo. They jive, through.
Pretty
things.
much, yeah.
Hmm.
And I have and then I have some interesting
some
dates for you.
You have an exact.
How
number?
many films?
I'm gonna go with 30.
Okay. Big John.
I'll go in 36. An even number there.
And lastly, Sam. How many, Sam?
40.
40. Wow, you guys are within 10 of each other?
Yeah, we're low, huh?
You all suck?
Yeah.
122.
Dang.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
So close.
The first one was in
Sam wins with the not closest
yeah,
without
you win,
going over.
Sam. You win, Sam. We'll get you a droid.
Price is Right rules.
1946 was the first recognized film in Las Vegas, or Las Vegas territory. And 1946, John, what do you think? Western.
Oh, I don't know. I was never much into westerns.
Oh, El Dorado.
Oh, okay.
El Dorado.
And
then there are some in 2017, but they weren't in part of the process. Was Jason Bourne 2016?
Yeah.
And
wow.
In your list
quite
here,
a lot.
we talked on the pre-show. It really it wasn't a movie, but Stephen King's The Stand. You remember
Yes.
it was the division between good and evil, and
Yes.
evil put up camp in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So that one got torched too.
I didn't look at all 122 specifically.
Yeah.
My memory's
Well,
not quite that good.
Elvis, between Elvis
Yes.
and Frank Sinatra and
yeah.
what have you, they
Gosh,
probably
that's
made
true.
a dozen
Elvis
right
probably
there.
had 30 all by himself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I have a question for the panel here. I was unable to research this before the recording. Christmas movies set in Vegas. And yes, Christmas.
Oh,
Get
gosh.
over it, whoever's listening and is offended.
Hey, as long as we're not playing
Rudolph
Christmas
the
music in the
dysmorphic
back.
reindeer. What do you think? A Christmas
Christmas in Vegas.
Christmas in Vegas.
Like
Sam,
how
come
many
on,
movies
get
has
in there,
been
buddy.
made about Christmas?
Man.
Yeah, but Christmas films in
like
Vegas.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, it wasn't in Vegas.
It wasn't in Vegas?
No.
Oh, Vegas
There was a Vegas
Vacation.
Vacation,
That's okay.
Yeah.
but it didn't count for
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then it's got to be.
Vegas
That's
Vacation.
what I was gonna, then that's got to be significantly lower than 150, right?
Yes,
so
I mean,
let's try 30 again.
No, I don't know the answer.
Oh, you don't know the
I'm
answer.
literally asking you guys.
Oh,
I
not
cannot
very
think
many.
of a single
Yeah.
film that is a Christmas Vegas thing.
Oh gosh, yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really think of that because I only picture just violent movies for Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even if it was, Die Hard set in Vegas, that was a violent movie, but it was still in
Right.
Christmas time. So
Are you writing a new movie, Adam? Because sounds like you're writing a Christmas movie about Die Hard in Vegas.
sure,
Yeah. We can get
It's
Bruce back in there.
It's like place at the Luxor. He helps to save Carrot Top.
Right.
Carrot Top can save himself. Have you seen him?
Yeah, right. Yeah, old Carrot, he's thick. All you listeners out there, help us out. Send in Christmas Vegas movies. I'd love to hear those. Now, I know a real favorite of, again, John, you're not video games. No, just your boy. Do you play sports? Do you play sports?
Hey, I bought a video game the other day.
Oh, my gosh. Pac-Man.
Wow.
Well, no,
No?
what it was, I was buying a new hard drive.
Okay.
And they had, remember I mentioned before, you asked me what games I play. I said, remember I played Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Well, they had the DVD game. Normally it's $50. It was on sale for $1.88.
Nice.
And I thought for $1.88,
Buy anything for
I'll
that.
buy it for that for $1.88. Even though I spent 15 minutes on it, I got my $1.88's worth.
That's
out.
I'd buy that for $1.
So what was it?
Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia, like the original, or like?
Well, I don't know exactly. This looks like a newer version, the one I played back in the 90s. Yeah. But it's probably still old, and they're just trying to get rid of it. Yeah. And I thought, hey, I'll play it for $1.80.
Entertain you for a minute or two.
That's right. That's all it needs to do for $1.80.
That sounds
I want the review on that next week.
Entertained for $1.88.
That's right.
And then you buy a cup of coffee for that.
And then you need to buy the film. Wasn't it Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal,
Jake Gyllenhaal was in the film Prince of Persia.
Oh, wait, it was Jake Gyllenhaal
you mean
Sir Benjamin Kingsley.
Who was? I would say that again, Sam.
It was also him with Sir Benjamin Kingsley.
Oh,
yeah, he's always good.
Ben Kingsley was in that.
Yeah,
in Prince of Persia.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Well, he's in there if they need a Middle Eastern, a Jew. He's a very
an Indian even.
Yeah, an Indian. Old Gandhi. But
or Chinese was.
But video games that destroy Las Vegas, and that's a tough one.
It's a tougher one.
I could not find. I had an easier way of researching for movies. But they didn't have a comprehensive list because many video games will hop in. You can go to Vegas for one reason or another, and like old GTA San Andreas, you can go, slap a hoe.
Yeah, you can go play the casinos a little bit, but you have strictly Vegas video games. The only ones I could come up with was they had Fallout 4 New Vegas.
Yes.
Or Fallout New Vegas. I don't think it was 4.
Yeah.
But basically that was, post-apocalyptic, and you could, walk through any casino basically, and
right.
It was pretty good.
Right.
I know there was
Rainbow Six.
1 and 2.
Vegas 1 and 2, yes.
You played those quite a bit, right?
I still do, yes.
So you could blow up the casinos in that too, obviously, or
you know what? They're
you can shoot the slot machines anyway.
The Rainbow games were the Vegas one. That was, you couldn't blow up the structures, not really. It was limited. It was before the game grids became
destructible items anywhere you could shoot.
It was before what's the company, Unreal, that got involved in designing the world.
Yeah, really making everything accessible.
Exactly.
It's almost like a carnival atmosphere around here when they could blow up a building, right? I mean, they've imploded, so many of them.
Oh yeah.
That it's usually people show up for. It's more people show up for that. Line is like for the Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a source of. People, it's a bucket list thing. I was there for this implosion.
Yeah.
And I've been here. God, John, how many have we seen? How many implosions have we seen?
3 or 4 at least.
Yeah, I think 4.
I
think 4. But the Die Hard trilogy, Viva Las Vegas, not even seen that game.
Gosh, no. I think that was Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And that was... not even connected to the movie as far as I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's going back.
And you know what? That's the list for me. Like I said, a lot of them.
A lot of Vegas-based games, but not necessarily where you can.
There was Area 51. I remember that was a video game, and I
kind of an
played
Alien Invader game.
Alien Invader game, but I never got a high enough level where they got out of the compound.
Right.
Yeah.
I
a lot of compounds and buildings, not necessarily set in.
I didn't know if
Vegas.
Maybe when they get out, maybe
they get to a casino or something.
Right. Yeah. But video games, they're limited as far as the destruction they cause. You don't actually blow up the Luxor.
I want to say that in one of the recent Call of Duties, Vegas gets nuked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's coming to mind.
Okay.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, look that one up. Yeah. Nuking, that would be new.
Yeah.
That would be new. Yeah, those are a few parts I'd like.
There's also a comic book called Invincible, really good, Robert Kirkman.
Okay.
Where Las Vegas gets flattened by a bomb turned into a giant glass sheet.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I often wonder if there also isn't some kind of a moral theme to it, like you see in the slasher films, right? In the slasher movies, it's always the skanky ones that get killed, and then it's the virgin that goes and gets Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jason's some messenger of God.
Like a step.
Yeah. So
it's
the same thing. We're Sin City, and here comes We've unleashed hell on us for our sins. For our sins.
Yeah, this is where the gate's gonna open.
That's right. Yeah, Gabriel's gonna be right here waiting for us.
So go back to the stand.
But no, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's okay. You don't see them leveling Connecticut, or any parts of Connecticut. New York and Las Vegas, because of the sins of our past, in our present, we get just whomped. And I think you're absolutely right. That's not okay. That's not okay at all. Although it keeps us in everybody's hearts and minds.
That's
you know,
right.
and the movies that I said were filmed here, that doesn't even get close to including the films that mention us one way or another. You know, what was it? Bridesmaids. Coming to Vegas.
Sure.
You know, honeymoon in Vegas, going to Vegas. I mean,
the Hangover.
Hangover. You know, they didn't blow it up, but they oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
They blew up that hotel room.
But well, that was great. Yeah, but I definitely want to hear about the Christmas movies. Maybe we'll include that as a.
Those sound really horrible.
Christmas in Vegas.
Christmas in Vegas.
Christmas in
movies. I mean, most Christmas movies suck anyway.
Because Christmas, you think of wholesome, family type of moments.
The original
Vegas
Miracle on
pretty much the
34th
opposite.
Street and It's a Wonderful Life. Stop right there.
Yeah.
You don't need any more Christmas. Everything else after,
Die Hard, Home Alone.
They came out at Christmas, so
Do you guys want to hear
I
a
guess
funny
there were
Christmas story?
Sure, go ahead.
My official first year in Vegas, me and my whole family, we decided, it's like the week of Christmas. We're gonna drive around town, see how it is, check out Vegas. Our first year here. I remember exactly the moment Christmas was ruined for Jimmy. We were at a red light over on Eastern and Tropicana. There's that little Terrible Herbs gas station right there in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we're sitting there at the red light, hanging out, and Jimmy's like, "Is that Santa Claus?" I look over, and surely enough, it is Santa Claus digging through the trash can.
Nice.
Yeah.
So homeless Santa.
Okay. Yeah, we have. We'll have. I haven't been by the sign. They've taken out the Vegas Strong stuff and moved it someplace. But normally by the welcome sign, there's a couple of Santas. There's one Elvis Santa that has a pink caddy that you can. He'll actually take you around and go on a photo thing with you. And then there's it is like honeymoon in Vegas. There's a black Santa, an Asian Santa. It's a very diverse group out there by the sign. But that's terrible, Sam. That's a terrible. Jimmy, your brother.
Yeah, I felt
he was
bad
very
because
funny.
he was only like 6 or 7 years old. He was really confused about the situation. I'm like, that's one of Santa's sidekicks. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Jimmy. The real Santa's in the North Pole.
that's the disheveled elf.
That's
God, Sam.
Season's greetings.
Season's greetings.
That's the Lucifer elf, right?
That's the
Thrown out of
Lucifer elf.
paradise.
That's right. But Area 52, we found we're sort of doing a timeline version of it today. Between the years here in Nevada and or Las Vegas, in specific, 1931 to 1933 were hugely formative years for our city. 1931, the Nevada legislature relaxed the marriage and divorce laws, meaning that you could get married more easily, and
set up the white chapels.
That's right, and you could drive through and get rid of her.
Yeah.
So no problem there.
Not just the wedding chapels, but the divorce chapels.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Kind of like a recycle marriage.
Yeah, and for the longest
It's easy
time,
money.
Yeah, for the longest time, we had the most marriages and divorces. Yeah, because of that.
Yeah, because of that, sure.
But also at the same year, we repealed the gambling ban. So now we could gamble here in Las Vegas. Immediately, like today, in 1931, the Pair O' Dice Club, not Paradise, Pair O' Dice Club, opened on Highway 91, which is now Las Vegas Boulevard or the Las Vegas Strip. It's no longer here. Paradise is gone. Then following that, 1932, Patrick McCarran, who apparently has some troubles now with racism and everything else, and what he represents.
Really?
Oh yeah,
heard about that.
They got him.
So our airport's going to be renamed.
That's right. He was a racist or squeezed somebody's butt or something. But he was elected to the U.S. Senate. Patrick McCarran, the namesake of our international airport, McCarran International Airport. And then in 1933, most importantly for John, prohibition was repealed.
Yes. About time. I waited for that.
But
I think, man, that's a stretch of years right there.
Isn't it?
So we got, you can get married, you can get divorced,
you
can
can
get
gamble.
booze, you can get gamble.
Yeah.
All in a couple of years, thanks
That's
to
right.
Patrick McCarran jumping in the Senate.
And we had representation in Congress.
That's right.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. And that's
quite a bit.
Of all the research that I've done, and I'm going to probably include the timeline version of Area 52, that's not even the most busy couple of years.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But now, John, you weren't alive in 33. When were you born, John?
59.
59.
Yeah.
See, you're not as old as I thought you were.
No.
Yeah. And
I just behave that way.
But okay, now remind me again, Sam. How many years have you been here?
How long I lived in Vegas?
Yes, sir.
Since 2000.
2000. And what and what year did you see the homeless garbage Santa? What year was that?
That was my 2000. Yeah, my first year here.
Oh, so same year. Adam, how many years you been here?
I have been here since probably 95.
Okay.
So I'm going on like 20, 25 years, something like that.
25 years. Okay. So what do we got? We got, what is that? 18 years, 25. We got 43.
Yeah.
How many years?
I was here in 99. Of course, I left for a couple years.
Okay.
So I've been here 15 years, I think.
15 years. That's 58. And I've been here, let's see, 27. So what do we got?
Yeah, I've been early 90s.
Yeah.
So
58 and 27. What do we got there? That's 85.
85 years.
85 collective years of Las Vegas
We're
experience. We're old. We're old.
That's not a buffet comps, man.
That's a lot of. That's right.
I want my free comp.
We have seen it coming and going in Las Vegas. I point this out just so people know that we know Vegas. We love Vegas. We've seen it come and go. We love the fact that Hollywood destroys it and then it builds it back up and destroys it once more.
Well, Las Vegas destroys itself.
It does.
You know.
It does.
So,
yeah.
I'd mentioned in that blog article that I wrote about the Frontier.
Yes.
And I just heard this week that Steve Wynn has bought that property where, they tore down the Frontier. They were going to build a San Francisco-based themed hotel. That was the original plan.
Yes, I remember.
Part of that property is where Trump has his shithole, Trump Tower.
Trump Tower.
Yeah, but a lot of that other land is just desert now, or just it's got a gate, a fence around it.
Right.
But Steve Wynn just bought that this week.
Yeah.
So I guess he's
So we
gonna
could have
put
something put up, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the next decade, I think, is going to be extremely interesting to watch because, we have all the social aspects that are hitting us right now, good and bad, if there's any good anywhere. We have new acquisitions, new developments. Gaming is changing, vastly changing. And entertainment is changing. Entertainment actually is on it's ebbing, I think. Food, food is going to be, I think, extremely important across the board, but I think it's going to be less
extravagant,
less hipster, kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
You mean less pictures?
Yeah, I think
so.
You're
not going to be able to post your pictures anymore.
Yeah, you can't post them.
Yeah.
The cloud, I think, is going to be taken over by AT&T. But it's going to be a very interesting next decade. So I'm looking forward to it. And 2018, I think, is going to be a very strange year. Very strange year for Vegas.
It's coming quick.
Yeah, it's coming quick.
It's like right around the corner, literally.
It is around the corner. What are you guys doing for we'll talk about this next episode, next one that we do, and I'll update you on that. But what are you doing for New Year's? Anybody have plans?
Oh, stay home. That's what I always do.
Yeah, mosh pit on the strip.
Mosh pit on the strip.
Oh yeah. No, not at all.
No,
I'm going to stay away from the strip. It's kind of a madhouse.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay away from traffic, so that means I'll stay home.
Okay.
I can watch the fireworks from my house.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys.
Plenty of good spots.
You guys can think of me. I'll be at the Cosmopolitan. Yes.
You'll be working.
I will be working. Yeah. I will hopefully be able to get out before they lock the strip down.
Yeah.
We'll explain all that. Actually, we're going to have a New Year's episode coming up, but I'll get out before they lock it down.
Yeah, well, we remember you and me both. We were out in front of the Venetian when when the year 2000.
Yes,
I remember watching the countdown.
Yes, and kind of cool actually. Yeah, I don't need to do that more at once, but it's pretty cool. Speaking of our calendar coming up, we are taking the. We normally record on the Saturday prior to Tuesday, so we're going to take that off. We're going to take off the 23rd. The next episode to keep track of will come out on January 2nd. So we're going to wish everybody a happy Christmas, a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and hopefully everybody can find some peace in their lives. Adam, thank you very much.
No problem. We'll see everybody next year.
Yeah, John, always glad to have you.
Thank you, guys.
And Sam, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Hang in there.
Cool.
You know, being a bubble boy.
Being a bubble boy. All right. Well, you have a great time, and check back with us at thepodbaydoor.com. Check all of our blog articles and all of our clickable links at thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com and our YouTube channel, the Podbay Door Podcast. Thank you very much. We will see you back here January 2nd. Thanks, guys. Thanks to everyone listening and watching. You can catch the Podbay Door on the Podbean app or any of your favorite podcast apps, including iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and Stitcher Radio. You can watch the show on our YouTube channel at the Podbay Door Podcast. Please download, like, and subscribe. Our social connectivity screen is coming up. Check in with us on Facebook, Twitter, and WordPress. The Podbay Door is closed and talent is out. Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the show. We would love to hear your show suggestions and comments. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please click to subscribe. You can also connect with us on Facebook using @PBD Podcast, on Twitter using @TPBD Podcast, and on WordPress at thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com.